Well, hello, YouTube friends. Today, we return to Giboin. Giboin, really interesting cognac producer. I reviewed their stuff before. I will put a link down there for the first two bottles I reviewed. And they're based in the Borderies, which is the area outside of the city of Cognac. Not as renowned as the Champagne regions in Cognac, but arguably more beloved by the nerds, which is part of what makes them interesting. Another thing that makes them interesting is they also have some vineyards, apparently like 200-year-old vineyards, in the Fins Bois. So the Fins Bois is think of the regions in Cognac as like concentric circles. The Fins Bois is the region right outside of Petit Champagne and the kind of inner circle, if you will. So I wanted to try some more stuff from them, and I also wanted to try some more stuff from the Aficionados folks. Last week I reviewed some Armagnacs, and my favorite of the bunch was an Aficionados blend, so I figured I would try some more stuff from them. The setup for today is 2 bottles of Giboin Cognac, but they are from those different regions. This first one, the oldest one, is a 2002, and it's from the Fins Bois. So this is generally a region known for fresher, fruitier, early maturing cognacs. And I've also got one from the Borderies, which is, again, known for nerdy cognac. This is about the flowers, the aromatics, longer aging. But ironically, the Fins Bois is actually older than the Borderies one. Okay, let's get into this. Why is there a third glass? Because I've got something else I will be pouring after I'm done with these two. All right, let's get this on the road. I'm going to have a little water. All right, so what is this first bottle? So it's, again, L Lot 2002, I guess. Sometimes cognac producers will use lot numbers to hide vintages. Some of them will fake it. Watch out for them. But in this case, in the notes, they're just stating this was still in 2002, so why would they need to fake it? But it's Cask D248, and this was a pick from the Aficionados group and Fine Drams. Fine Drams is a online retailer for spirits, among other things. And interestingly, they're happy to ship glassware pretty much anywhere in the world. For those of you glassware enthusiasts out there. This is not a single barrel, it is a blend. We'll get to that in a second. Okay, but let's focus on the Fins Bois here. This is 52.6% alcohol. Bottle, distilled 2002, bottled 2022, circa somewhere around there. So we're talking 19, 20 years old, somewhere around there. All right, let's get our nose into this. Ooh. So initially, I'm getting some very Fins Bois characteristics. This is what I mean by that is there's some notes going on here that you get in a lot of commercial cognacs, but better. Take some raisins, drop them in some melted caramel. That's a lot of what I'm smelling, but you can combine that with some I initially wanted to say like a musty, woody cellar, and that's certainly happening. There's a hint of kind of like damp wood in there, but there's also some almost like freshly cut wood in there. So it's almost like you're making an extension to your damp, musty cellar, and there's just some kind of fresh plywood lying around. Dried flowers, some prunes happening. Black pepper, certainly. Ceylon tea, so black tea. Mole sauce, so that little hint of of chocolatiness, but it's like a savory chocolate. So black mole sauce. I'm sorry. So savory, chocolatiness. I mean, mole sauce. I mean, it smells like what it is. It smells like a fairly old Fins Bois Cognac, and that's great. It's relatively straightforward in what it's doing on the nose, but it's pretty much unimpeachable for that. I'm really enjoying this. All right, on the palate. Ooh. On the palate, this is a spicy boy. So it certainly got that kind of raisins and caramel thing I was talking about from the nose, but then there's like this kind of like, what is that? This is going to sound stupid. The like discs or pucks of like stone ground Mexican chocolate that cost like $7 each? The spicy one? That's kind of what I'm getting on this, like spicy stone ground Mexican chocolate on the palate here, but alongside the caramel and the raisins and a lot of dried flowers. A lot of French oak playing in this, prunes, dried cherry, black pepper, tea, Ceylon tea again. That kind of, I'm not really getting fresh plywood this time, but I'm definitely getting musty cellar and like a little hint of almost peppermint. Oh, definitely. Yeah, there's like a, pull one leaf of peppermint out of your garden, throw it in your mouth. That's kind of there. I'm going to give this a couple squirts of water and we'll come back to it. Let's see. I don't. This is kind of in the low 50s. I never know what to do water-wise with those. Two squirts doesn't feel like enough, but it feels like it's calmed down the palate. It's not as nippy as it was. Okay, let's move on. So this is Giboin from the Borderies, but it's a blend from the Aficionados folks. Again, it's sold through Fine Drams. This is a blend of the 2005, 2007, and 2009 vintages, bottled at 57.7% alcohol. So youngest spirit in this is 2009. I think it was bottled, 2022 again. You're talking something with technically an age of 12, 13 years old, but with some older stock in there. So I'm very curious to try this, considering how much I like the older Borderies Giboin I tried in that previous video. Ooh. On the nose, there's a lot of it's very different on the nose. There's a lot of orange peel on this. Actually, no, not orange peel. It smells like, chocolate oranges. Okay, so wait. If you don't know what I'm talking about, when we're approaching the holidays, you have to go to every grocery store you can find until you can buy the little orange-looking thing wrapped up in aluminum foil. You have to smack on a table. Get the dark chocolate one; those are the best. You have to smack them at a table to kind of break it up, and then you eat the little chocolate orange slices. That stuff. That is what I'm smelling on the nose. And it's really obvious, but there's a lot of other spice. It's just very spicy on the nose. Tons of fruit too. Definitely some raisins, which is kind of a classic cognac-y note, but Also, like dried peach, lemon drops. My beloved apple cheese is in the house. Dried flowers, and a lot more dried flowers than was in the Fins Bois. But also, there's like almost a freshly mown grass aspect to this, which is really interesting. Some just like straight up cayenne pepper happening. And then there's French oak. I mean, there's classic French oak notes, the pepper, the figs, Darjeeling tea. But it's really the spiciness and the chocolate orange that dominates on this. It's an edgy nose. It's nervous, as we would say in the wine world. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. Let's see what happens in the palate. So, compared to the Fins Bois, this is, despite the additional strength, this actually feels leaner on the palate, and also nippier. Like there's just the alcohol feels more present. Oof. I think austere is the word for this, but in a good way. So black tea with lemon, black pepper, cayenne pepper. What have I written there? Peach. Definitely peach. Like peach fruit, but also like just like almost the peach core, like the green part. That kind of floral, flowers plus grass thing. That's still here. Apple cheese. The spirit is good. The wood is good. It's just, at this point in its life, it feels very austere and kind of unfriendly. But I appreciate the quality of this a lot. I'm going to give this one more shot. Very interesting. Very cerebral kind of spirit. I could actually see like agave nerds, like mezcal fans getting into this. Let me give this a couple of squirts of water. This is 57, right? I'll give it 4. 4. I don't know if it needs more or not, but we shall see. Well, we shall see. No edits here on the DS show. Okay, back to the Fins Bois, the 2002. Now with some water. See what happens. Wow. Okay. This smells like a peach pie. Like out of nowhere, I am getting intense, south side of Chicago, grandma's peach pie kind of stuff. I mean, you pay more attention, you start to pick up all those same notes from before. The raisins, the caramel, the mole sauce, the kind of slight mustiness. That's all there. It's just kind of like richer and fruitier and friendlier with a couple squirts of water. Yeah, nice. On the palate. So sometimes it feels like adding water doesn't do much to a spirit. So sometimes, you know, it'll bring out bad notes. Sometimes it'll bring out good notes. Sometimes it just kind of takes what's there and just almost like locks it in place. You ever hear, you feel like a band is like, I don't know, warming up or something with a warm-up song, and then they'll get to like the main their main track list, and they just lock into place. It feels like that's what's going on with this now that I've added a little bit of water. Peach, spicy chocolate, tea, musty wood, just everything. It's right here. Really good development, good long finish. It's just that everything is in tune with each other. This works really well. It's not that, I mean, I should be measured about this. Like, it's not, how do I put this? It doesn't, this bottle doesn't feel like anything special in lots of respects. I mean, you've had most of these flavors before. Like, it's not, we're not venturing into the realms of crazy here. But it's just really good at doing kind of what it does. Yeah, this feels like something like you could bring over to like a gathering with some bourbon folks, and you can plop it down on the table, and they'll say, "Oh no, I'm sorry, I don't like cognac. I had some Courvoisier in college, and it was too sweet for me. And I like dry things, like you know." Bourbon that's been finished in PX casks, and you're like, no, just try it, and they do, and they're like, wow, this is amazing, and it's like almost 20 years old. How much do you pay for this? And you're like, under 80 euros, and they're like, what's a euro? And you have to explain to them that other places exist in the world that are not America. That's what this feels like. It feels like a great crossover dram for people who appreciate woodier aged spirits and are, you know, a little bit open-minded. Yeah, I like this. What am I don't know what to score this. Yeah, this is like an 87 plus. Let's give this an 87 plus. Just really good. Just, you know, everything, you know, hammering on all cylinders. Really nice. Moving back to the Giboin Aficionados Blend from the Borderies. See what this does with water. Yeah. On the nose, I'm getting a lot of just citrus peel and like incense almost. It's very aromatic. It's almost like someone tried to make I don't even know, like a gin, I want to say, but there's no juniper, like a cognac-y gin with no juniper. That doesn't make any sense. Ignore what I just said. But that's kind of what I'm getting. Does that make sense? Whatever. I'm kind of missing the chocolate orange thing I was getting before. I might have preferred the nose before I added water. No, that's not. The quality's the same. It's just a little bit different. It's still very, very austere. I was kind of hoping this would get more friendly on me with the addition of water, but no. Nope, it's not going to play like that. On the palate. Jesus. So this is definitely, you have to be patient with this one. Like, you have to be, this is a thinking person's cognac, right? This is not, you know, chocolate and caramel and raisins and happy thoughts. This is lemon and orange peel. This is overstewed Earl Grey, and like flowers and grass. It's really interesting. You know what this actually reminds me of? This is going to sound really stupid, but I'm getting like Auchentoshan vibes from this. I'm not talking about the like bourbon cask Auchentoshans, the kind of the friendlier ones. I'm talking like second fill sherry hogshead Auchentoshans, like in their late teens, when there's lots of stuff going on, but they're so austere. Like it just, like they're gonna fight you every time you pour a glass. That's kind of what I'm getting with this. It's good. It's very good. But yeah, this is definitely austere. It is certainly more austere than the Fins Bois. So if you're just looking for something you can pour a glass for yourself or anyone without having too much of a challenge, buy this instead. But if you're looking for something that's going to give you, a little bit of a head trip, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what I'm going to score this. They're pretty close, but but with water, the Fins Bois just pulls away from, it just pulls away from me. Yeah, maybe that's the qualitative quality difference, if that makes sense. The Fins Bois gets a lot better with water. This, the Borderies, it changes. It doesn't actually get a whole lot better. And I will leave it there. Let's call this like an 86 out of 100. Definitely worth a shot. Definitely worth the money, but be aware, this is a challenge. All right, and now we're going to move on to my third glass, which is another Giboin, but it is not a cognac. It is a Pineau de Charnes. This is the Giboin Via Reserve Pineau de Charnes Terroir de Borderies. I just opened this. It's been in my fridge for a few hours. I'm not going to give this a score or anything. I just wanted to aware you that this existed. And, oh, by the way, Fine Drams will sell one to you. Assuming, you're in continental Europe and stuff. What can I say about this? So, after a number of rackings, so basically you're getting, the Pinots are 3 years old up to 10 years old for older Pinots, and it is from cognac, a cognac base, blended with the juice of Merlot, of Ugni Blanc, and Semillon. So maybe I should take a step back and explain Pineau de Charnes one more time. So basically, this is the first barrel-aged cocktail ever made. This is what happens if you take cognac and you blend it with unfermented grape must. So basically grape juice. And they're very, very old. Old Frenchmen love this stuff. Hipsters in Brooklyn are starting to love this stuff. So be aware. I put that away, and I don't know why. It deserves its place right here, along with the others. So be aware. This is a trend that is going to happen. Pineau de Charnes. What's really interesting about this blend is the Merlot and the Semillon. Ugni Blanc, I understand, because that's the cognac grape, right? But where the hell are Giboin getting Merlot and Semillon? Those are Bordeaux grapes. Plenty of them grown in southwest France, but going to various little blends there, but it's not something you expect to see from a cognac house. Let me put it that way. On the nose, usually with Pinot, I expect to get a lot of like grapiness. I'm not getting that. I'm getting almost some like pineapple shell, like just empty pineapple shell. Lemon pith, a little bit of orange, a little bit of Earl Grey. Interesting. So this is the first glass I'm having of this, and it's actually, again, it's more austere than I thought it would be, which is not a bad thing. Let's see what happens on the palate. Oh, that's really good. Hold on. Yeah, these are just wonderful substitutes for dessert wines, for digestifs, aperitifs, that kind of thing. I'm not getting the oak on this, actually, that I was expecting. What I'm getting is like some just the best grape juice ever made, married to, yeah, almost like pineapple shell peach, but it's not peach. It's like again, like the peach core thing. It's a little bit astringent. Yeah, there's a bitterness to this. It's quite sweet, especially on the arrival, but there is a bitterness to this, which makes it a little bit mouth-quenching, and I'm enjoying this. Anyhow, just be aware. I'm not going to give this a score or anything, but just be aware. This is available. This is out there, and it's very, very yummy and super duper cheap. So yeah. Thanks for watching. What did I score these? 87 plus for the Fins Bois 2002. 86 for the Borderies blend, and 106 for the Pineau de Chartres. Thanks for watching, and cheers.